Sherry, make sure you got your phone recording you, yes?
Yes.
Okay, the rest of you, make sure your phones are set to airplane mode. You got a laptop, close it, and put it off to the side. Let's do Sherry, our undivided attention.
Have you ever worked somewhere and your employer had you follow some sort of dress attire or dress code when working, whether it be a strict or a loose one? Well, all different types of businesses have a dress code that their employees must follow, but some businesses are a bit more lenient than others. I'm going to show you a few different types of business examples, all getting more strict and complex with the dress code they provide to their employees. Keep in mind during this, professionalism differs in a wide variety of different business types. The level of professionalism a business gives off is a deciding factor in the level of business attire an employer provides to its employee. The first business example I'm going to give you is the entertainment industry. The entertainment industry has a more casual business attire and a bit more lenient look. Your dress code usually consists of black jeans and a colorful t-shirt, somewhere with the company logo printed on it. Their intention is to give off a fun look to their customers. You don't need to come to work wearing a suit and tie like you're going to sell the building to the next contending customer that walks through the door. The next business example is the restaurant industry. The restaurant industry isn't as complex, isn't as casual, as the entertainment industry, but it all depends on the type of outlook and the image they want to give off. Let's say you're working somewhere that has a more comfy look, or their theme is like a lodge cabin. You'd have maybe a nice dress shirt, jeans, and an apron. So whereas if they had a more complex or fancier type of restaurant, then you'd have a more servant type of look. When I worked at a restaurant in Humble called Chez Nous, it was a very, very French restaurant, and our dress code and attire that we had to wear was the butler uniforms, because we had to look like you come in the door, you are the center of attention, we're your servants, anything you want, we're there to do for you. The next one is a corporate office. A corporate office has a more heavier professional attire, and your image is highly professional. You're usually how we are all dressed today: a jacket, dress shirt, tie, dress pants, dress shoes. It's no casual attire is allowed. If you come to work wearing a t-shirt and jeans and you have to unexpectedly meet with a client, chances are that client is not going to go with your company. Your image means a lot, and you have to look like you're dressed for success. So different businesses have different levels of professionalism buried within the dress code that they provide to their employees. Depending on what the company wants to give off, depends on the level of attire you have to wear. An entertainment industry is a bit more lenient and fun than a restaurant industry, but not nearly as complex as what a corporate office would want to give off. Toward the beginning of this, I discussed different types of business attire and gave you different examples of the different types. I hope you leave here today with this giving you a clear look on how wide of a range there is in the different types of attire in the world of business. Thank you.
All right, Sherry.
I will say, I know that was really short. I did not mean to talk that fast.
You spoke pretty quickly. Let me give my corrective comments in a second, but I think you're right. You did speak quite fast, but I'll make up for some time here to speak slowly. You chose a great topic, and here's why. I found that there are folks at this point in their lives that don't see the fine differences between casual attire and professional attire, and make assumptions that, you know, a golf shirt is significantly more formal than a t-shirt, and that, yeah, you can wear a golf shirt at in a professional meeting that calls for professional attire. And that's not always the case. There are gradients of professional attire going from casual to professional, or casual to formal, I should say. And I appreciate that your speech touched on some specific fields of work or work environments that call for one style or the other. I see you work in a recreation place. Yeah, if I was going to show up in my jacket, my sweater, would probably appear out of place in roller skates, wearing my sports coat and tie. So, yeah, some jobs call for a certain type of attire. Nice job concluding the speech. I appreciated the transition into the conclusion and your effort to summarize the scope of your argument and end the speech in a way that emphasized your point. That was quite good. Let's see. There was a personal connection to your topic that I think worked well for your speech. As you talk about the different places you've worked and the different requirements for how you dress to fit in that work environment. All right. Two things that I want you to do differently in the future. The first thing, I need you to draw much more attention to your sources. This speech has to come from research, and you need to describe what your sources are that led your research for the speech. Second thing I'd like you to think about is how you might go into greater specifics about why certain types of attire count as formal as opposed to casual. There might be some nuances that are worth exploring. So you had a picture of a couple that were dressed in suits in the job. And there are aspects of those suits that folks starting off in their careers might take for granted. How do you wear a pocket square? Yeah. Okay. I've asked a lot of people this question, and I've gotten a lot of different answers. And I don't know. I get the feeling that once you know how to tie how to wear a pocket square, you don't really talk about it. You just do it. But there's some articles of women's clothing. There's a type of tie that some formal uniforms call for. You see airline flight attendants wear it, people work front desk at hotels. It's not a tie, like the tie that we're wearing, but there is another type of tie that's part of a woman's suit that there's a way of tying it, and unless you're required to, you might not know what it's called and have no clue how to tie it when someone's handing it to you. Certain fabrics are considered more formal than others. Certain color combinations are considered more formal than others. So what I'm getting at is that your speech might have attended to these specific details to sensitize us to things that we might really have taken for granted beyond the difference between casual and formal attire. So look for those specific details in preparing